Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Nail to Sports. My name is Caleb Nail. Today, we got a fun show. Today's Friday, but I missed yesterday, so we got to do it today. We got to stay somewhat consistent with this thing because that's the key, and I've been trying to work on consistency. So we're going to get in our 3 days a week. Don't you worry. Better late than never. All right. Today, I got a verse of the day, but we're going to talk USA soccer. Of course, I know some people don't like soccer, but we got to talk USA soccer. NBA draft. Two things that probably aren't very popular here in the Central Valley. Well, soccer is very popular, but NBA, who knows? But basketball is on the rise in the Central Valley. I can tell you that. Buy stock now, because it's going to the moon. But first, I want to start with this encouragement today. This is out of James chapter 1, verses 22 through 27. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. So that means you got to read it. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in a mirror and, after looking at himself, goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. For some of us, it's probably good that we forget what we look like myself. Verse 25, but whoever looks intently into the perfect law that gives freedom and continues in it, not forgetting what they have heard, but doing it, they will be blessed in what they do. Those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, and this is the challenging part, to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. So there's two parts to that. No, there's the big debate, if you are into Christianity, about grace through faith, and then talking about works and things like that. But I can tell you one thing is for certain, is that we are called, if you are a follower of Jesus, if you walk with Jesus, you are supposed to do good. And once you begin to walk with Jesus, that becomes much easier. It's not a challenge. And I can tell you from the past 6 months of my life, it has become much easier. I knew, short testimony here, I've known the Lord my entire life. I will say I've walked with him, but I was not listening to his will in my life. Now I have surrendered, given everything up to him, and it is so much easier. And I don't know if I've said it on here, but this is how I put it with some people. That people say, when you're in love, when you find the one, you just know. I didn't believe them. Well, when I met my wife and we were just dating, I knew. And and then I understood what they were saying. Oh no, I know. You just know. It's kind of like that when you're walking with the Lord, right? And you're surrendering to him. I was confused. I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do, and that was the problem. I was trying to be in control. I was trying to lead. And I didn't know what my path was for my career, what I was supposed to do to lead my family. I knew I was supposed to do all these things, I didn't know what to do to help the needy, where to start until I surrendered. And now it's so easy, and I want to do it because I surrendered to him. And so those good works that James is talking about follows, right? Follows once you put faith in Jesus Christ, that he is our Lord and Savior and God of the universe. And then that second part, I think it's really good for today when it talks about the people that consider themselves religious. We hear people say, well, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Well, that to me, that just screams that then that Jesus is real, because the spiritual realm, yes, is totally real, and there's a battle going on. And if you're spiritual, then where they come from, and that they all acknowledge that Jesus is Lord. Even the demons do that. And it says that they do not keep a tight rein on their tongues and deceive themselves. And this is a challenge for even Christians, believers in Jesus. And this is a way for people to really check and see where they're at in their walk with Christ, because there are a lot of people that we call lukewarm Christians that cannot hold their tongue, and they are deceiving themselves. And it says here, their religion is worthless. Scary. But my challenge to you is, if you have not surrendered to Christ, surrender to Christ. Honestly, it's perfect peace. Once you do that, I have perfect peace. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And I want that for you guys. That's my prayer for you. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on X, Caleb_Nail, Nale. I'd love to chat. And also, we like to talk sports here, so why don't we talk sports? All right, a couple things, because we got to catch up. We're going to talk Schlossnagle. What a name. NBA draft and Copa America. So first, I want to start by playing this.
With respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. Write that.
Coach, thank you very much.
He just got up and left. Coach Schlossnagle, he was the head baseball coach for Texas A&M, and that happened right after they lost the College World Series to Tennessee. And if you don't know the story, the following day, he accepted the head coaching job for Texas, the Texas Longhorns, Burnt Orange, their rivals. After he said all of that, that had to be the worst answer you could give to that question. Now, he has apologized, and I know some of you will tell me that. I do know, and I do not have that clip. So I'm glad he apologized, but what are you doing, coach? Or they say no, like Saban, I'm not going to be the coach at Alabama, and then takes the job at Alabama. But the thing that stood out to me the most was coaches complain about the transfer portal, and Schlossnagle may not complain about the transfer portal, but this is the exact reason why we have the transfer portal that we have today is because of coaches like that. When they can say that and say that they left their entire family for this job, I'm staying here. He didn't say I'm staying, but it sounded like that, right? To me, it did. And then get up the next day and say, I am now the head coach at University of Texas. And we all know that contract with Texas was signed earlier. Rumors are he signed it early June, second week of June. So he was already ready to go. Now, there is something to be said about his response to his statement saying, I think that's a very selfish question. I understand why the reporter asked that question, right? Because if there were already rumors of him leaving, then it would be nice to know as a Texas A&M baseball fan if he's going to be coming back or not, because we're hearing rumors. At the same time, as a competitor, as a former player and coach, you don't want to hear those things. I want to talk about the game that just played out. So I kind of understand that, but at the same time, you need to be professional, and there's a lack of professionalism in this country, really, across the board, in a lot of things. I see it in the office. People don't want to dress up, follow dress codes. I see it in schools. They got rid of dress codes because we don't want to hurt feelings. I see JJ Redick drop the F-bomb in his press conference. And look, my thing with words is that they're just words, right? We say there are certain curse words where, well, really, any word used negatively is a bad word, in my opinion. Okay, those words just emphasize most of the time the negativity, right? So, but if you use it in a different way, it doesn't bother me at all. Not one bit. I don't even think it's a bad word. But the way that JJ Redick used it was to express how he felt, and it was a negative, and it was towards a reporter, and I didn't like it. And I think he lacks professionalism. Now, all of that can change, but even then, this guy, Schlossnagle, didn't use it. He didn't use what we consider a curse word, but at the same time, very negative, attacking a reporter. I don't know if this is true, but I read that he's told the reporter, I don't want to ever talk to you again after that question, once he got up and left. Very unprofessional. And now, the worst part about all of this, even after all of that is said and done, after all the unprofessionalism that he had at the press conference, he goes to a rival. I mean, we saw it with, what's his name? He was the head coach at Nevada for Nevada football. Now he's at Colorado State. Dang it, his name escapes me. But I can't stand it when these coaches do this. Can't stand it. I couldn't stand it when DeBoer left for Washington and he handled it much better than this. He said, right now I'm focused on Fresno State. Well, yeah, then 2 days later he's going to Washington. We kind of knew that was going to happen. He dodged a question, but he wasn't like that. But what got me with DeBoer was that when he said in the video, go Dogs, DAWGS, that felt like a shot to my Fresno State Bulldogs. Like, come on, dude. So maybe I'm just soft. But, I think DeBoer's a great guy, and I really like what he's done. And I do not think Coach DeBoer lacks professionalism. I think he's a professional through and through. I'll make sure that I say that because I really do. This was not what JJ Redick did. Was not how NBA players dressed. That is not professional in my opinion. I think how the world conducts themselves is not professional. There is a way where you can. We had the debate last night. There is a way where you can tell the truth and be honest. Do it with love and be professional when you are in that position, right? Teachers, if you read the Bible, teachers and leaders are called to a higher position, right? There are really high expectations if you are a teacher or a leader. And the fact that you act and speak like this is, one, embarrassing, and two, to me, it's unacceptable. And if I saw that, if I was at Texas, I would not be happy with him. So those are my thoughts on Schlossnagle. By the way, crazy name. Great name, Schlossnagle. Haven't heard that before. But yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. And by the way, like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. Since we are talking about baseball, I do want to mention 8 times this season in the MLB, 8 times, Aaron Judge and Taylor Ward have homered on the same night. Fresno State is dominating at the plate. 2 players. And Ward continues, both of them continue to dominate. They are, I think, was it Ward caught a ball at the fence? In either way, these guys are going crazy. There's lots of opportunity. I mean, the Valley is being represented well, not only in the MLB, but in the NBA. I'll get to that in a second. In the NFL. I mean, we're dominating. The Central Valley is a breeding ground for professionals in the sports world. And not only professionals, I'll put it this way, not only professionals on the field, on the court, on the diamond, but I enjoy them off the field. I think they conduct themselves, for the most part, and I don't know behind the scenes stuff. This is only what we all see, but for the most part, they conduct themselves in a good manner that represents the Valley well. All right, let's move on to the NBA draft. And by the way, I apologize for the Wi-Fi, Group of 5 Wi-Fi. That's what we have. It hasn't been good ever since we started doing this. I'm working towards better internet. Don't worry. That's what we're saving up for. Okay, NBA draft. So round 1 was Wednesday. Round 2 was yesterday. Number 1 pick in the draft was a kid from France, Zachary Rizache, I believe was his name. We had Steven Castle from UConn go 4 to the Spurs. Reed Shepherd went 3 to the Rockets. I like all these things. We had some big 7-footers. Zach E went 9 to the Grizzlies, which I think some people for some reason didn't like that. Look, man, if you're over 7 feet, get on my team. I want you. Some teams that I thought did well, and then we'll get to my main pick that I really liked. Utah Jazz, Cody Williams at 10 and Isaiah Collier at 29. They got that pick via OKC. Cody Williams he played for Colorado, and Isaiah Collier was a point guard for Utah, both guards. And I wanted to start with these two for a reason. So these two, they're not going to have an impact next year, but both have a really high ceiling. They're going to improve. They're going to hit the weight room, and I think they can make a difference. Give them a couple years, and I think that was the main storyline of this draft. Most of these guys are not going to make an impact day one. maybe the 7-footers as rotation guys and a couple guards that can shoot well, they will get in and make an impact. And then I'm going to get to a couple other guys I think will make an impact. But for the most part, this entire draft are guys that are going to have to develop. And I like the way the Jazz went. Both of those guys have really high ceilings. One of the players I really liked in college that got drafted, Devin Carter out of Providence. He went to the Kings, which I'm happy about. It's the only NBA game I've been to. It was at the Kings in Sacramento, watching the Kings. So could you say I'm a fan? I don't know. I really don't enjoy the NBA regular season at all. I don't watch too much of it. I keep up with players and how teams are doing. But I really like Devin Carter and liked him at Providence. I think the Kings, you could argue it wasn't a need, but I like what Devin Carter brings to the table. For all my Central Valley people, AJ Johnson, he went number 23 to the Milwaukee Bucks. AJ Johnson played at San Joaquin Memorial with Jalen Green. I believe he only played 1 year at San Joaquin Memorial, but he is from Fresno. And he then went and played, he played overseas but he's drafted 23, skinnier, attacks the rim like a freak, get out of his way, big kid. Very much built like Jalen Green, skinnier, but quick, can jump out of the gym. Once again, developmental style that the Bucks are going with. Developmental pick, I should say. He's going to have to put on weight. He may make an impact as, rotational guy, come in, get some minutes, but ultimately he's going to need to, as I say, drink beer and hit the weight room. Got to put on some weight. 27, pick 27. Minnesota Timberwolves took Terrence Shannon Jr. out of Illinois. This was the gentleman that was accused of, sexual assault, but it was, some gal trying to get money, and it wasn't true. And they ruined his image, tried to ruin his image. But I really liked what the Minnesota Timberwolves put together as well. 2 guards. They got Rob Dillingham at 8. He was the 6th man of the year, I think, in college basketball award, 6th man of the year, and then Terrence Shannon out of Illinois. 2 very good guards. And they're going to learn from Anthony Edwards and those guys over there. That's going to be good for the Timberwolves. I like that. And then 30, the last pick in the draft, Baylor Shireman to the Boston Celtics. Shireman can score, man. And he's tough. This is very much a Boston Celtics player. And Baylor Shireman, I think he could make an impact and be a part of that rotation of this next season. The Celtics are good. But I think the steal of the draft, and most people are talking about this, is at 17 to the Lakers, Dalton Knecht. Dalton Knecht was arguably the best player in college basketball last year. Shoots lights out, tough, big, has some bounce. And he drops to 17. This is a perfect get for the Lakers. They need these type of players. LeBron James and Anthony Davis force help all the time. They need someone that they can rely on in the corner. They need someone, and even when he hits, he can ball fake and get to the rim, and he's going to force help. Dalton Knecht is a huge get for them. This is the player, in my opinion, that is going to have the biggest impact this season. And it may not be he's going to score the most points out of all these rookies. He's not going to win Rookie of the Year. But he's going to have the biggest impact because he's going to open things up for LeBron James and Anthony Davis and other players on that team as well. So I think this is the most impactful pick other than the Lakers' second-round pick, which we're going to get to in a second. Dalton Connect is really going to help this team out. Okay. I want to get to round 2, but before I get to round 2 really quick, I do want to mention the coverage of the NBA draft on ESPN. It was horrendous. I turned it on for about 10 minutes. I couldn't listen to it. It's bad. It was bad. There was no analysis. There was just talk of who the pick was going to be, and then the reactions to the picks it seemed fake, put it that way, seemed fake, trying to put on a show. I don't know if they were, but they seemed that way. And then 3, for the most part, there wasn't really any analysis. And if there was, it was very shallow. Was not a fan. There needs to be a better product. And I don't know if it's because Disney is losing a bunch of money. I don't know if I do know it's part of the problem is the people that they have had on that stage. Sorry, but that's just how it is. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. So it wasn't very entertaining. I just had it muted the whole time. So I missed a lot of picks. But in today's day and age, I'm sorry, I've just taken a while, but we'll get to round 2 in a sec. Don't worry. Today's day and age, people know what is going on. We get, to the second updates on X. If you are in the sports world, you need to be on X. Instagram is dead. And the fact that Instagram is now using AI they can use your photos. If you're not private, if you're public, they can use your photos in AI. And they are. That's terrifying. I don't want my kid's face flying around. My face, not good looking. I don't care. Well, I'm private anyways. But Instagram, dead to me. X, we get up to the second updates. People want analysis and reaction and opinions. They want to know, okay, what does Dalton Connect bring to the table? Because a lot of NBA fans don't know about the French kids that are getting drafted. I don't. They don't know a whole lot about the G League kids, the 4 G League kids that got drafted, and all these overseas kids. They know a little bit about the college kids that probably, and I'm guessing most NBA fans just watch March Madness. So I'm sure they know about Dalton Connect and some guys, but Devin Carter, did they watch Devin Carter play? I don't, they need to be talking about what they bring to the table. Anyways, okay. Round 2. I want to touch on round 2, and you know this. Bronny James was drafted to the Lakers. And this took me a while to think about. Because, I hear both sides. Well, it's not nepotism. And no, this is nepotism. By the way, the funniest meme I saw was LeBron James is now LeBron James was caught sleeping with his teammate's mom. I thought that was funny. But so I was thinking about this nepotism deal. And I gave the Ferentz family a bad time at Iowa because offensively they were terrible. And that was Brian Ferentz was the son of Kirk Ferentz. I think it was Ferentz. And I think that was nepotism at its finest. But this administration had to step in to help them. And we'll see what happens with Iowa's football offense this year. I think this is just as bad. Bronny didn't start for USC, at least the games I watched. He didn't start at USC. I don't think he was a top 3 player on USC. He wasn't the top player in the Pac-12, not even close. And he gets drafted. Okay, now, this is a business. You can do what you want. And in my opinion, LeBron James has earned the right to tell his coach who to pick, and especially if it's his son. However, I don't think this helps Bronny, and I feel bad for Bronny. It would be best, and you've heard this forever, for the past year, it would be best if Bronny would stay in college, lift weights, be away from his dad, have his own career. Look, he's surrounded by people that are going to be able to help him. Look, he sees his dad's work ethic. That's a benefit to him. And this is great. I'm not holding this against him. This is amazing. We should congratulate these people and cheer these people on, right? It goes, but to be a part of your dad's plan, it seems like this is all LeBron James' plan. This is what LeBron James wants. Maybe Bronny wants this. I don't know, but if I'm a college kid, I don't want my dad around all the time, especially as I become a man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say I'm sorry. My wife said I say sorry too much. I'm not. This is how I feel. And the reason I say all this is because I have seen dads coach, and I have tried to coach my brother. It doesn't work because the title doesn't leave. The title of dad, the title of brother, title of mom, that never leaves. Wherever you go, it doesn't leave. You cannot switch off and on. You can't. Now, people can handle it differently, and they can do better jobs handling it, but that title never leaves. And the dad-son relationship is so important. It's so important. You do not want to ruin that. And all I have seen in the sports world, time after time, is the dad-son relationship really struggle when it comes to the sports world. And so I'll be praying for the James family because I don't want Bronny to hold anything against his dad, resent his dad. And I don't want LeBron James to resent his son. I don't think he will. Just now that I have a son, there's nothing that my son can do to where I'm going to not love him. Loving him may be leaving him on the streets so that he can learn, but I will always love him. And I'm sure LeBron is the same way. But it seems to me that this is something LeBron wants, not yes, Bronny wants to be in the NBA, but it doesn't matter where he went in the NBA. Bronny was going to be happy and excited to be in the NBA. I think this is nepotism at its finest. And I think this is dangerous. And I'm looking at it more along the lines of dad-son relationship rather than a basketball relationship. Basketball-wise, we could say you can say whatever you want about Bronny. Oh, he's a great shooter. Oh, he's too small. He's not good. Whatever you want. To me, that doesn't matter right now. To me, I'm praying that this is something that both of them want, not just LeBron, and that I pray that their relationship will flourish through this and not diminish because it's going to be hard, especially with guys like us in the media talking about it. But I am cheering for them. I'm not cheering against them. We'll see. Okay, let's. The rest of round 2 really wasn't at all that exciting. I think the Cam Christie pick was a good pick to the Clippers. Kyle Filipowski went 32 to the Jazz, so the Jazz are still adding. That's 3 picks there that I like. Did you guys see the story about his girlfriend? That was weird. If you didn't see this, his girlfriend right now is this. Actually, talking about relationships, this is way worse than the LeBron James family. The Filipowskis have a problem because Kyle is dating his former babysitter, and his brother came out and said she told Kyle to cut them off. That's bad. Kyle, run. That is a red flag as I've ever seen, Kyle. That you should not do that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but if that is the case, Kyle, run. You are being led by a different head. Run away. Okay. I just want to message to Kyle Filipowski. If that's true. Gosh. The Suns picked Osasare Ighodaro. He's a big athletic guy that played at Marquette. I really like him. He's got an NBA body. He could help the Suns right now. I think this pick is going under the radar. The Suns need help. This guy's not going to score. He's not going to be scoring 20 points a night anytime soon. But I think, and this is my comp for him, is Toppin from the Pacers. He's going to need a lot of shooting. Ighodaro, a lot of practice. Because I don't think he could shoot like Toppin, not even close. But tough, can jump. He's a finisher, finish high, way above the rim. And he's tough like Toppin. So if he can get a shot, I think Ighodaro could be scary and help this Suns team out. They really need it. I'm really happy for Jamal Shed, the defensive player of the year, played at Houston. He's going to the Raptors. It's kind of a Raptors pick, right? I like that. Other than that, Kevin McCullough goes to the Knicks. I don't know what to think about Kevin McCullough. Guys, I'm a big college basketball guy. USA college basketball. I don't watch overseas and G League and things like that. So I'm talking about the college basketball guys. McCullough went to Kansas. He was hurt. He was their leader for the most part. He's a tough kid, strong. However, I think he needs a lot of work. His ceiling is really high. And I think this is a total Knicks pick. Gritty player. He's going to play really hard defense. But he lacks the scoring. Like, I don't know if he could take over a game yet. He did in college. I wasn't his biggest fan, but you could see his potential. So I understand that pick, and he's going to take some time to develop. He's going to need some time to develop, like all these guys. But I like that for them. Overall, the NBA draft, even for the lack of talent, or I shouldn't say that. For the lack of ready now NBA players, this was an entertaining draft. I think there's a lot of storylines, a lot of fun stuff going on. I do think teams got better, even with the lack of NBA ready players. It's going to be fun to watch these guys and how they develop and who comes away. It'll be fun to look back in a couple of years and hopefully these guys are successful. The last thing on the NBA draft, because I mentioned this earlier, and I don't think it would be fair for me to not talk about this. But I talked about professionalism and how they dressed. I know it's a culture thing, but and the NFL has this problem too, and you may not think it's a problem, but and college football is getting this way too, and I talked about it. But the amount of money we spend on material things is unbelievable. We've got to put on a show. It's a fashion show. I'm not a fan of it. All the bling, like, I mean, I don't know. It could be fake, could be $2. I don't know. But it's not needed. I like just seeing clean, maybe a bow tie, a tie, your tux, boom, done. Like Peaky Blinders stuff, boom, man, money. That stuff looks nice. All this other stuff, show off, I'm not about that life. Even AJ Johnson, I'm going to be critical of our Fresno boy. I don't know what he was wearing big baggy pants with slippers on. I'm sorry. You walk into my office, I'm not hiring you. I know that's a different business and I'm being too critical, but but the last thing I'll be critical of, and I know I'm an old man now, is I forget his name, but he was a Duke player. He's into painting his nails and TikTok dances. Jared McCain. Good player. The guys that focus on their social media following and the color of their nails, I have an issue with. I do. Because the older I get, the more I realize that we're supposed to be working with our hands. And these guys do, as in when I talk about playing basketball. But if you have time to paint your nails, that tells me you're not outside pulling weeds, mowing the lawn, digging with using a shovel, and I think you should be. I know you probably live in an apartment, and that stinks. That's not good. But men out there, please do not paint your nails. It's not a good look. Please, unless you are a part of a dance team, please do not post videos dancing on TikTok. To me, it's lack of professionalism. It's a lack of maturity. The people that do the best are the people that focus on their careers and are professional in their careers and not obsessed with what other people think about them. And that's what this all is, I think, stems from, is they're worried about what people think about them. Look, I don't care if people remember me. And this is my, I'll end it here. We want people to focus and remember Jesus, not us. Everyone dies. There's only a couple people that haven't died. And even Jesus, who's God of the universe in human flesh, was killed. He rose again, and that's a fact. He rose again, so death could not defeat him, but he even died. So focusing on material things is not important. High school kids, if a college brings out Lambos, that means nothing towards your college football career. It's kind of gross what they're doing. They're trying to trick you with Lambos. This is gross. Guys, don't worry what people say about you on TikTok or what you look like. Don't, please. It means nothing. Go in the gym and shoot. When you're dancing or painting your nails, just remember this. The other guy is either sleeping and recovering, or he's in the gym lifting weights or shooting. Remember that. All right, last thing. Copa America, USA. We've talked about it. Leading up to this game, USA played Panama yesterday at like 3:00. And they ended up losing 2-1. Okay, in the 18th minute, Timothy Weah lost his cool, got a red card. Away from the play, decides to hit this guy open hand in the face. Look, you and I both know and we're probably both told, if you're going to foul, foul. Now, Timothy Weah just wanted to fight. But, bro, he's lost his mind. He gets a straight red card. Boom. 18th minute, gone. Unacceptable. He said it. He knows it. He apologized to the team. But look, what's done is done. That happened. Balogun then scores an awesome goal. We go up 1-0. I mean, 5 minutes later, Panama scores 1-1, and we had to play the rest of this game a man down. At halftime, Berhalter makes some subs. He puts in Carter's Vicker, another center back. So now we're playing 5 defenders. We got a back line, 5 men, and then he pulls Reyna and Tyler Adams, which I thought was dumb. I did not like that. And he puts in 2 other guys. And I don't remember who it was. But that's not the point. The point is, okay, he went defense, right? Because we're a man down. And was probably playing for a draw. And this is the problem with soccer, right? I love soccer, and I know a lot of you may not, and this is why, right? I understand your frustration. It's a tie game. Yes, you're playing a man down. But why do you play the game? You play to win the game, right? If you are playing for a draw, why play? Why show up? We don't play for ties, especially the United States of America. We don't play for ties. To me, that's like surrendering. Okay, we're surrendering. We acknowledge that we can't beat you, so we're going to play for a tie. No, that's not what we do. You leave in Tyler Adams and Gio Reyna, but I will say Gio Reyna, Tyler Adams, maybe not having the best first half, but that was only one half. It's a different game the second half. It's 1-1. It's 0-0. Those guys give us the best opportunity to score goals. Tyler Adams is tough. He's one of the tougher players on our team. Leave him in. He's one of our leaders. In my mind, leave him in the game. Now, I understand. I think they had him on a pitch count, as in they had him maxed out for minutes because he's coming off an injury. That may have been the case. But especially when we're a man down, he's going to have to work harder. But let's see what he's made of. That's what I think. Anyways, he put in players. Then Panama goes on to score a goal late in the game. I believe 84th minute, 86th minute, maybe. By the way, all this is going on. This was the worst ref game I have seen in probably 10 years. In all of soccer. It was terrible. I hate talking about refs. But this game seemed rigged. It was bad. Matt Turner, our goalie, got hurt. No card. They're saying they were both going for the ball. Matt Turner clearly beat him to the ball. The other guy saw Matt Turner, still undercut him, hurt Matt Turner. We had to sub Turner out. Horvath did fine. The sub that came in for him, he did fine. I actually thought he did a good job. Not a whole lot of action there, but he did his job. But then Panama comes in, scores 84th, 86th minute, not in front of me right now. So that now we make another sub. Aronson comes in. We got to score. We got to score and tie this thing up because our last game is against Uruguay, and now we're gonna have to beat them because we did end up losing this game. So now we got to beat them, right? So you put us in that position, Berhalter. You put us, and Timothy Weah. You put us in that position because one, Weah lost his mind, and then Berhalter is playing for a draw. We play to win the game. You scored a man down. We can continue to score. You take Balogun out, who Balogun was giving us the most opportunity to score. What are we doing? Finally, Panama gets a red card. So now it's 10 on 10. And by the way, I kept track. I looked. It took 2 minutes for that red card and everything to unfold. 2 minutes. And there were fouls called all over the place during that second half. You know how much stoppage time we got? 4 minutes. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Worst reffed soccer game I have seen in the last 10 years. It was terrible. Terrible. Missed calls that were called that shouldn't have been called. It was bad. Terrible. But it's not on the ref. This is all in the United States. People are calling for Berhalter's job. I get that. I've never been a fan of Berhalter. I think he managed the game poorly. And now we have to go against a Uruguay team who is very good. We're going to be missing Timothy Weah. I think we can survive without that. But some analysis really quick. Our defense was terrible. Our back five was really bad. Right? And I'll say Carter Vickers, he came off the bench, was supposed to provide more defense. He was right in the middle of that five. Bad. Ream, who's supposed to be the leader back there, bad. Anthony Robinson, I thought was the best, but he wasn't that good. The second goal they scored was because he tried to clear ball, poor clear, straight to Panama, right outside the box, sends it into the box, goal. Scally, I think, has been bad this whole time. I've seen him play a couple times. He played in the German league, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing. It's bad. And the younger kid too, not good. They got to step up. We need to find some people that can play defense. If you're going to defend, you got to defend. Bad. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's not looking good. After that game, by the way, the last thing I'll say here, we missed Pulisic a ton. We missed him as in we're not passing him the ball. Get Pulisic the ball. Get Pulisic and Balogun the ball. They go on runs. Anthony Robinson missed him a couple times. We had Scally missed Pulisic. He was running wide open. Didn't see him. What are we doing? It's bad. USA Soccer going into Copa America had a lot behind them. I think a lot of people were supporting them. A lot of people were watching them and excited. But after this game, I'm worried. We have a long way to go before the World Cup. And the World Cup's going to be here before you know it. I mean, we have a star. We have a couple stars in Balogun, Pulisic. I thought, look, people can say what they want about Weston McKennie. He makes things happen. I thought he did well defensively. I think he was part of the goal that Ream. He was offsides, but McKennie was a part of that. I think did he score it? I like McKennie. Gio Reyna has huge potential. Sergio Dest is injured. Good player. We really need him bad. We got to wake up. We have to wake up. I'm going to leave that there. I will be tuning into the USA Uruguay. There's still a possibility that we can make it out of this group, but it's going to take some help from Bolivia, or we could just go beat Uruguay. But after the looks of this last game, man, it's going to be tough. I don't know if we can do it. I have faith, though. Pulisic is going to wake these guys up. Let's go, baby. The Croatian cousin. Let's get him going. He's got it in his blood. The kid's good. All right. I better go get ready for work. Otherwise, I'm going to be late. Thank you guys for tuning in. Comment down below. Anything that you heard down here and you got opinions on, I want to hear them. I think it's fun. And look, social media is tough because you can't hear the tone, but it's all fun and games. For me, I don't go after anybody here. So let's have a conversation on there. I think it'd be fun. Comment down below. Hit the notification bell for when, if I ever go live or when videos come out, you'll be notified. Central Valley deserves a good sports show. Hopefully we're building up to that. Thanks for tuning in. This is Nailed It Sports. Tell a friend. God bless everybody.